This week we are going to focus on solving word problems. Specifically, we are going to work on addition word problems, and we have an activity after this as well. So we are going to talk about how to solve this word problem, and we are going to break it down. And we are going to have Mr. Buggy here who loves cookies, and he is going to help us out with solving our word problem. So let's solve this word problem. We're going to start with our first sentence. Mr. Buggy had 4 cookies. How many cookies did Mr. Buggy have? 4 cookies. So we're going to underline 4. So I have 4 cookies underlined right here. And we are going to show that in a visual with Mr. Buggy. So there's Mr. Buggy, and he's got his 4 cookies. Let's count those out. Make sure we have those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So giving it a visual. Moving on to our next sentence. He grabbed 2 more from the jar. So our next sentence is basically saying that Mr. Buggy grabbed 2 more cookies from the jar. Mr. Buggy loves cookies. So let's go ahead and underline 2. So I have 2 underlined over here for 2 more from the jar. So he grabbed 2 more cookies from the jar. So we're going to show that in our visual. So here Mr. Buggy goes. He's going to grab 2 more cookies. 1, 2, and he's going to add it to his pile over here. Let's see. He's pulling his cookies up with him. Okay. All right, let's go back to our sentence. It's our last sentence. How many cookies does Mr. Buggy have now? So from this word problem, we can see that we are going to combine our 4 cookies and our 2 cookies that Mr. Buggy grabbed. So we are going to add those 2 numbers together. So I went ahead and wrote down 4 plus 2, and then I also have the visual of Mr. Buggy with all of his cookies. So let's count all those cookies that Mr. Buggy has. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many cookies does Mr. Buggy have now? He has 6. So we are going to write 6. The best thing you can do to solve a word problem is to break it down with each sentence, underline those important facts in our word problem, and then give yourself a visual. Thank you, Mr. Buggy, for helping us solve our word problem today. We are going to do our activity for today, and it's under week 6, day 1 and 2, so we're splitting this up. We're going to do number 1 and 2 today, and we'll do 3 and 4 tomorrow. So it says addition word problems, directions, solve the word problems below, show your work with a number sentence or a picture on the right. So it's kind of like what we did with Mr. Buggy in our word problem over there, where we went ahead and we solved our word problem with visuals to help us out. Let's go ahead and start with number 1. Number 1 says, Tom has 3 toy cars. He gets 2 more for his birthday. How many toy cars does Tom have now? So let's break down this word problem. Let's start with our first sentence. Tom has 3 toy cars. How many toy cars does he have? 3. So we are going to draw 3 toy cars. All right, so I drew my 3 toy cars. I am not an artist, so my cars kind of look like sombreros on the top with wheels, but that's okay. As long as you're showing your work, I do not care what your cars look like. You can even draw dots to help you visualize how many there are, just as long as you're showing your work in the word problem. Let's move on to our next sentence. It says, he gets 2 more for his birthday. So now we are going to add to our picture and draw 2 more cars because Tom got 2 more cars for his birthday. So here we go. I drew 2 more cars because Tom got 2 more cars for his birthday. How many toy cars does Tom have now? So we are going to count our cars all together in word problem. So let's count our cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many cars does Tom have now? 5. So we are going to write 5, and I'm going to go ahead and write cars. All right, good job on number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Sarah and Michelle are playing together. Kim and her sister come to play with them. How many girls are playing? So let's break down our word problem. It says Sarah and Michelle are playing together. So our key here is knowing that Sarah and Michelle are playing together. So I'm going to underline Sarah and Michelle, and we are going to draw a picture of them. I'm going to draw stick figures. So here it is, very simple. That's Sarah and Michelle right there. Okay, let's move on to our next sentence. Kim and her sister come to play with them. So our key words in this one is Kim and her sister. And we are going to draw a picture of Kim and her sister. So now I've got Kim and her sister over here playing with them as well. So our word problem at the end says, how many girls are playing? So we've got how many, right? So we are combining the amount of people that are playing. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here in our answer, we can write 4 girls because 4 girls are playing. Thank you for joining me for our addition word problem activity. We are going to do 3 and 4 tomorrow. Good job with our math skills today.